What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, going to be casting game number 2 between, well, Lithium Gaming's on the Dire, I Love Women, aka FerretSquad. They changed their name. I think there was a little bit of internal dispute about that, but it is FerretSquad on the Radiant versus Lithium Gaming on the Dire now, switching sides after game number 1. Spoiler alert, FerretSquad, ILW. They did take game number 1. It was an absolute blast to watch. There was death everywhere. I don't know the final count because I actually didn't note it down, but there were a lot of kills, like a lot of kills, and it was very fun to watch. Who doesn't love that, right? So this is going to be from League of Dota week number 3. This is the semifinals, or one of the semifinal matches, and it is a best of 3. So if FerretSquad win this game, then they're on to the grand finals to face up against I don't know who yet, because the other semifinal game is being played as I speak, I think, if they're not still in the draft. So Lithium Gaming, they have to win 2 games now, and looks like they're going to go for the exact same thing, Death Prophet, as their first pickup. Death Prophet, I mean, she had a couple of good moments in the last game, but ultimately her ultimate really didn't do what they wanted it to do. The ultimate for Death Prophet should be whenever you press that button, you get a tower. And that just didn't happen because FerretSquad got a little bit too much on all the other lanes. The Magnus somehow getting solo kills on the Clockwork when no one else, when like the Clockwork would not die to the Lifestealer and the Crystal Maiden combination. I don't know how he did it. It certainly happened though. So FerretSquad just got a little bit too much before the Lithium Gaming squad could actually get their pushing up. This time they're going to go for something extremely different. It looks like Death Prophet, as well as an Alchemist, banning out themselves a Pugna, which was their partner pickup, one of the first 2 pickups in the last game where they picked up a Death Prophet as well as a Pugna. Oh, I also forgot to say, if you're in the stream, make sure to buy the ticket. Only 99 cents will give you access to in-game drops, and who doesn't love in-game loot, right? So make sure to do that. And yeah, okay, back to the game. OD being banned out by the FerretSquad, and they're going to first pick up the Lich. This was a hero that they themselves banned out first, I believe. It was either this ban or this ban. It was, in the first round of bans, they banned out the Lich. But it looks like they're going to pick up the Lich for themselves as well as the Mag. If it's not broken, then why the hell try to fix it? Magnus 231123 did absolute work on this hero, constantly landing 2 3-man. Was there a 4-man? I think there was a 4-man up on the top lane. A 4-man RP, and then they had a Sand King, they had a Templar Assassin, spill damage, explosions, burrow strikes, death, and C4 everywhere. So Magnus, there's no reason to stray from what worked, and Magnus certainly worked. I think that was probably one of the biggest reasons why FerretSquad won that last game, because the Magnus did so well in his lane. He got constantly he got solo kills versus the Pugna, versus the Windrunner, versus the Clockwork when he went down there. Anyone who went down to the bottom lane was not safe to the Magnus. He got an amazingly fast Blink Dagger, and he used it. His Blink Skewers, just to initiate, were amazing. And then once you had 2 3-man RPs on top of that, it was just smooth sailing for FerretSquad from there on out. Their strategy, I think, is going to be a little bit different, though. This time, of course, they won't have access to that Lifestealer, so between the Lifestealer and the Weaver, 2 of the biggest carries in the game are currently unavailable to the FerretSquad, though. Last game, they showed that they could definitely run a Templar Assassin as that very heavy farmer. If they want to put Magnus up on the offlane once again, put the Templar Assassin mid. I mean, they see a Death Prophet, and they know that the reason they picked, or I think, the reason that they picked Templar Assassin was to counter that Death Prophet. I'm sure there's some other reasons, synergy, hero choice, selection, playstyle, all that other good stuff, but for the most part, Templar Assassin is going to beat out a Death Prophet, and that's certainly... Okay, we're not going to read that out loud, but that definitely showed up in the recording. I just wanted to check the chat. Sometimes there's entertaining stuff there. But that's definitely a big reason why they chose the Templar Assassin, though. There is a kind of a small change in the fact that there's an Alchemist. And so far in this tournament, we've been seeing Alchemist primarily as that roamer supporter. But Alchemist going into the mid lane is a really good hero against Templar Assassin because the Acid does so much damage to her. She's essentially a melee hero. She has a little bit of range, but for all intents and purposes, she's a melee hero amount. She has a melee hero amount of lane control. And then Refraction does not like Acid at all. So Alchemist will do pretty well there. But I think it'll just be better for Lithium Gaming to put the Death Prophet in that lane. That's probably the best way to put Death Prophet in general. She's just a hero that needs levels. If you put her in a dual lane or something like that, you're just delaying your push, because Death Prophet is not a hero that could really go and push at level 6. She needs 2-3 points in Witchcraft before the exorcism really gets scary. So usually that's why you see her in the mid lane, because she's at least more guaranteed to get her farm up. Lithium Gaming, third pick, gonna be that Rubik after a Venomancer ban. FerretSquad, going to ban out the Bane Elemental just to get rid of that Bane Alchemist setup combination. It is terrifying, it really is. As well as the Clockwork. Garb's initiations were pretty good, and he was quite the hassle to deal with those cogs. No real synergy between the Clockwork and any of the other heroes, so I guess it's just a response to the last game ban in that Clockwork pick.
10 seconds remaining.
FerretSquad is going to pick up the Crystal Maiden as their next pick. Let's Roche doing some pretty effective roaming harassment in that last game, though. This game they do have a Lich. Lich not as effective a roamer as a Sand King, because Frost Blast does a lot of damage, but at the end of the day, it's not a stun. And really, you want to have a stun with the Crystal Maiden, just because she sets up easily for those skill shoddy stuns that the Sand King packs around. Though Frost, Crystal Maiden, as well as Lich will have a lot of slow. It's all gonna be nullified by the Dark Seer, though. So whoever gets hit by the Frost Blast, whoever gets hit by the Crystal Nova, instantly surged away. Though there's still a lot of early game damage between the Crystal Maiden and the Lich. I think this might be a little bit more of a Crystal Maiden doing a solo, kind of her own thing in this particular game. Let's Roche in the last game was pretty independent of the Sand King, actually. So I guess Let's Roche definitely does know how to play that Crystal Maiden role correctly. And FerretSquad, they're going to go for the Luna as their primary hard carry. So there's not going to be any Empower Cleave that's going to be going on between the Magnus and the Luna, which is a shame. You generally do want to pick up a melee hero with the Magnus, but hell, you do still get that extra damage, and it is still going to bounce around. I love FerretSquad. Damn, I'm going to end up calling them I Love Women just because it's there. The FerretSquad do have a good amount of AoE to deal with any pushing from the Lithium Gaming side, but it looks like Lithium are instead going to go a little bit more defensive in this game. They're going to be a little bit more patient, get the Alchemist farm, get the Death Prophet farm. They're not all in on the Pug and the Death Prophet like in the last game. They have the Alchemist to kind of hedge their late game, because once Death Prophet gets the late game, she does do a lot of damage still, but definitely not as much as a farmed up Luna or something like that. Crypt Swarm is a large part of the Death Prophet's damage output in late game. When BKBs come up and stuff like that, then it's a little bit not as appealing. But I think Lithium Gaming, at least from the trend that we've been seeing in this tournament, are probably going to run the Alchemist as a more supporting role. Have him roam around with the Rubik, so you have a lot of stun duration, a lot of setup, and a lot of damage. And that means that the last pick is probably going to be a primary hard carry. FerretSquad banning out that Gyrocopter, making sure that they don't have to deal with that Gyro versus Luna matchup, which, depending on what levels they are, depending on how many creeps there are, the Luna or Gyrocopter will have an advantage. If there's lots of creeps, obviously Gyro has an advantage. If not, Luna. But Lithium, they're going to go for a Naga Siren. I think this is going to push the Alchemist into the farming role. I think you would probably want to have a farming Alchemist over a farming Naga, especially against a Luna with those glaives. Your Naga Siren could be stacked as hell, but if Luna is equally stacked, then your illusions aren't really going to be doing much at all. So I think it's going to be a Rubik Naga Siren. Very defensive support picks from the Lithium Gaming side, so they're definitely going to go for a vastly different playstyle than in the last game. And FerretSquad, last pickup, what is it going to be? They still need a mid lane hero. Templar Assassin. We've seen TA Luna since like the beginning of time. And by that I mean, when did we see that? It was big in the TI2 era, like after the TI2 era, and during, really. Luna as well as TA, there's a lot of synergy, but they're going to go with the Clinks. So they're going to go for a little bit more lane dominance than the TA mid lane. Well, Ferret played the TA last time. Clinks versus Death Prophet. Clinks will definitely win the sustained damage role. Searing Arrow Harassment is pretty much guaranteed to win most lanes. But Death Prophet, if she gets decent damage trades, if she uses her bottle correctly, then the huge chunking damage will be in favor of the Death Prophet. Here we go. Let's set up. Oh wait, no, we'll go GLaDOS. GLaDOS is fun. Not as good as Bastion, but still good. And set up everything else, and here we go. On the Radiant side, we have FerretSquad, aka I Love Women. It's gonna be 2-3-1-1-2-3. Playing that Magnus once again. He did pretty damn well in that last game. Hopefully we'll be seeing an equally amazing performance from him. just because I like seeing good Magnus play. It's a hero that we have been seeing less and less of, and it's still refreshing to see, I think. When Blink RPs, you never get tired of seeing 4-man Blink RPs. I don't care who you are, I don't care if you're S4, that just makes you happy inside. Godlike is going to be playing the Luna. Let's Roche is on the Crystal Maiden once again. Violent Love is going to be this time handling the Lich and the Ferret, who played the mid lane TA last game. Might go mid lane again as the Clinks, who knows. On the Lithium side, we have Lunatic. On the Darkseer, on the Death Prophet, it's going to be Demon. Wait. Yeah, did he change his... Yeah, whatever. Demon's going to be playing the Death Prophet. Definitely got different clothing. Demon is going to be playing the Death Prophet. We have Alchemist heading up towards the top lane, undefeated. It's OMFG playing the Naga Siren, and Garb is going to be playing the Rubik. Played the Clockwork last game, so looks like they're just playing to their strengths, not according to their roles. You know, some teams do whatever one they deem necessary. But the FerretSquad, with this Clinks pickup, they're going to be able to add a lot more pressure around the map. Clinks is not a great hero versus Darkseer until he gets his Orchid, if he does decide to go for that Orchid route, just because whoever he decides to jump on, they get surged away, and usually you rely on your strafe duration, which is level 1, level 2, to get the kill. You need to be able to hit people, and once they start running away, it's just not going to fly. Unless, of course, he works with Let's Roche and he actually gets people locked down. This is also going to have some pretty good synergy between the Clinks as well as the Luna. The Lunar Blessing is going to make the Clinks do a crap ton more damage, all physical damage, mind you. And they could actually take down towers or pressure towers pretty easily. I would say comparable, the amount of pushing that FerretSquad has, their pushing power versus the pushing power that Lithium gets from having this Death Prophet on the field. Wait, didn't they have a stand-in? Oh, okay, well, guess their stand-in is gone now. Who knows? Pretty sure Demon was in the last game. Am I crazy? I might be crazy. I'm probably crazy. But Death Prophet going to head towards the mid lane, and Ferret is going to be there as well. Let's Roche maybe might go towards the mid lane as well. That would be an overkill, I think. But the CM Aura is going to be doing so much work for the FerretSquad, because Clinks is a hero that, until he gets a couple of Oblivion Staffs, or maybe just one Oblivion Staff, boot, something like that, he will want to spam his Searing Arrows literally as much as possible. Like, spam them constantly. And then, of course, you run out of mana unless you have Arcane Aura from the Crystal Maiden. I think if FerretSquad just play this super defensively, get the, at least they play the Crystal Maiden super defensively, they'll be fine to dominate their other lanes, because more mana means more shockwaves, more mana means more random Lucent Beams. It's not the most intense form of harassment, but it's definitely substantial when you have that additional mana that you wouldn't ordinarily have.
Battle begins.
So Violent Love's going to be sitting at the top lane for now. I think it's just for a sack, and he's going to move somewhere else. Yeah, 2-3-1 is going to be left to his own devices once again on the top lane. And, well, this time it's going to be Alchemist as well as the Rubik. Two heroes that could actually interrupt, decently interrupt, or I guess the Rubik can decently interrupt a Skewer. If you see someone skewering it, instantly lift the mag, and then the Skewer is dead. So 2-3-1 should have a little bit more of a rough time on that top lane. And, well, we have Demon as well as Garb. Setting up some wards, maybe looking to go for the Ferret, but Ferret already starting off with the Searing Arrows, and I think this lane should, in the beginning, go towards the Ferret with his Searing Arrow harassment. Top lane, 2-3-1, it's got to be careful. There is a lot more kill potential on this lane than there was in the last game, just because Alchemist does have a form of CC in that Unstable Concoction. Of course, Garb could grab him and throw him down a little bit closer to his allies. So 2-3-1's got to be careful a little bit more. Godlike, though, on this bottom lane with a favorable creep wave position. Violent Love is around as well, and Lunatic, he's going to be forced to just sit back and do the Darkseer thing, throw on Ion Shells. Eventually, Godlike, I think, would behoove him to get a quick Midas, so he could deal with that very quickly, and also should be having a decent time in lane, so Midas isn't out of the question, I don't think, by any stretch of the imagination. In the meantime, though, Let's Roche is just jungling away on that Crystal Maiden. Violent Love moving up to the top lane. This is actually a pretty smart move, I think. Luna isn't really going to benefit that much from having the Lich there. It's definitely going to help her a little bit, but right now, Violent Love can do stuff like this, whereas 2-3-1 wouldn't be able to. Oh, he's going to skewer in for this. They really want this Rubik dead, but a stun's being charged up. It's going to land on 2. Violent Love is also going to be lifted up into the air, slammed down into the Magnus. Violent Love is going to go down. There's the first blood. 2-3-1, still in a little bit of trouble. Will slip away alive. But super, super aggressive from 2-3-1. If that Skewer hit instantly into the Shockwave, that would have been a dead Rubik, but unfortunately level 1 Skewer is not the most impressive spell as far as range is concerned. So First Blood does get drawn on Violent Love, and really it's going to make top lane struggle just a little bit more. But with the Death Pact, he'll be able to recover from that pretty Sacrifice. Death Pact is something else. Death Pact is Clink's. Sacrifice, which will be able to recover in levels and really get a level advantage, or at least keep level equilibrium with that mag. Stun on the Alchemist, and we still have Crystal Maiden. Level 2 now, not yet picking up any points in Aura. Take a quick look at the gold per minute, 10 for O versus the 11 for 3. This Death Prophet doing pretty damn well versus the Ferret. The Searing Arrow Harass is still there, but it's not as intense as I really would have expected. But here we go, Lunatic in a good amount of trouble. There's a good amount of damage on Luna, but the Ion Shells are already up. Here comes Crystal Maiden from behind. Lunatic going to face him head on. Roche could actually get this one turned around. There's the Ion Shell demolishing the illusions. Lunatic going to chase Roche down. No surge. There is a surge, but I don't think he actually wants to go for that. Yeah, he doesn't. Let's Roche forced back, and aggression unfounded by FerretSquad going to force the Crystal Maiden back. And Luna kind of struggling on this bottom lane. Darkseer getting not pressured at all. Really, the Crystal Maiden can't do much versus the Darkseer. If you try to poke at him, he's going to easily shrug it off and just turn around with an Ion Shell and probably kill you. So, probably not the best idea there. And top lane, Violent Love, he's helping out 2-3-1 with the sacrifices, getting a little bit more experience into the level bar of the Magnus. So probably, no, not breach level 4 with this sacrifice, but he's doing a decent job of keeping the Magnus afloat in that lane. But at the end of the day, farm is coming up from the, well, actually more farm is coming up than the Alchemist, on the Mag than the Alchemist, but here's stun being charged up, 2-3-1, he can get stunned a little bit too close to the tower though. Frost Blast gonna hit onto the Alchemist as well as a little bit onto Garb. They're gonna throw a Shockwave. Dire Courier being killed. Where the hell did that happen? It was Les Roche. He got the Courier kill. Well done from him, and that's going to mean, well, Death Prophet, fortunately for her, does have the bottle still, but Ferret can go toe-to-toe with Demon. I don't think this is a fight that Demon will win, especially with no mana. Yeah, Ferret gonna force Demon out, but that's a lot of damage. Oh, he's gonna chase this one down. He wants blood. He's not gonna get it in the meantime. Top lane, still a little bit more poking harassment. Demon is gonna find safety in the shadow of his tier 2 tower. And Les Roche roaming very aggressively. I think there's gonna be an aggressive ward being placed, or at least rotation up to the top lane. Either way, there is now some kill potential on this top lane. Les Roche is going to, wow. Really? What is he? I don't. What? This is super aggressive from the Crystal Maiden. There we go. Warding deep behind the tier 1 tower, but the creep equilibrium's all the way over here, so I don't really know, like, that's kind of like 1 million meters. I guess 1 million meters. There we go. That's quite far away, and they will know who's teleporting in, so that will keep them safe, but they can't use that to dive or anything like that. They can, though, go in for the kill. Undefeated, going to eat a Shockwave straight to the face. OMFG is not going to be able to zone out from the Crystal Maiden. There's a net onto the Magnus and a lift onto Let's Roche, but already the damage has been done. The Alchemist has gone down. Now Garb going to get beaten down. There's a Shockwave to finish the Rubik off. OMFG on the way out as well. There's no more mana on the Magnus, on the Lich, so it's going to be simply a double kill. No, it's going to be, I don't know, something said something about multi-kill, but Magnus getting the kill, Crystal Maiden. Yeah, I guess Magnus got both of the kills. He is 2-0. And 2-3-1, 1-2-3. Cashing on the Mag once again. They got the Alchemist kill, which is the most important kill that they... That's not how you do tangos anymore. That's definitely the most important kill that they could possibly get. And if the Alchemist stuns himself, they could even go for round 2. Arcane Boots on the Mag, and the Alchemist going to stun himself, though. Looks like it's not going to happen, unless it might happen. 2-3-1. Seems to know exactly how much damage his Mag could do. He's been using it pretty damn well. Let's take a look back at this mid lane. We do have the Soul Ring on the Clink, so he'll be able to eat things with the Death Pact. Yes, I'm sure we've... Oh, wait. Oh, top lane. Here we go. Stun onto Violet Love. 2-3-1, 1-2-3 is going to get secured. It will hit on the Alchemist, but he will get that interrupted midway through. He does have another Shockwave that will not kill out the Alchemist. It might. No, it won't. Well, it might. 225. There, it will kill off the Alchemist, but now he has to deal with both the Rubik as well as the Nog Siren. There's minus armor from the Riptide as well as the Fade Bolt. It's a double kill for Pink. OMFG claiming 2 kills in the top lane. FerretSquad getting perhaps a little bit too aggressive up on this top lane. However, at the end of the day, they did kill off the Alchemist, and he's getting going for a Greevil's Greed build, which means that killing him off is that much more valuable because he has all that gold that you could easily take away from him. Dire Courier just now finally respawning Ferret. The idea of this build is that Soul Ring pays for Death Pack, and you get free damage from that. I'm sure we've all seen that Luminous video where he watches Eternal Envy playing the Clinks, and maybe we are going to see something like that also, and if so, it's going to be a Midas into a Blink Dagger. I know, right? I'm still not convinced that that works all the time. It's definitely a very fringe thing to do. You need coordination and stuff like that with your team, but it's a possibility, although the Orchid is definitely more likely. However, generally when you go for an Orchid, you don't really need the Soul Ring, just because Orchid gives you a lot of mana regen, and you know, having this burst of mana is most of the time unnecessary or overkill, especially when you have the Crystal Maiden aura. So we'll see what Ferret wants to go for. However, what the top lane wants to go for is a Frost Blast onto Undefeated. There's instantly a Song of the Siren. Are they going to turn this one around? No, OMFG hitting the level 6 mark is going to just barely get the stun out. Magnus is level 2 Skewer, not enough. But already, Alchemist, not yet level 6. He's going to be forced all the way back. This sacrifice doing work on this top lane, giving a level 7 now for Mag, at the same time denying creeps so that the Alchemist only level 4. Granted, he's died 2 times, but he's not having the best time at all. Shockwave, unfortunately, missing for the Mag, but he has a bottle, he has Arcane Boots. He's fine to just spam that out, and now let's Roche going up towards the top lane, and wow, Undefeated getting hit with a huge Shockwave. And that's going to force him all the way back. He's going to be just fine to walk back to the base, it looks like. Let's Roche, thinking about it, they do have vision, and now they know about it. There's the Skewer through. It's going to land onto RP. Cancelled, though, because of Telekinesis. RP going to land just an OMFG. Here comes Demon, popping the Exorcism. It's going to be 2-3-1, going down first. Violent Love taking a big Crypt Swarm straight to the base. Let's Roche is going to try to hide, but you can't hide from the spirits. He's all spotted out, and the Shockwave, not Shockwave, the Riptide is there. 7-5-2 Demon. Gonna find a double kill on the top lane. Lithium bringing this game back from last game in a big way. 7 for 3, 2-3-1. A little bit this time, a little bit overconfident, but at the same time, that's the telekinesis that I was talking about. It actually will interrupt the Mag, and that's something that they did not have in the last game. They just had to just let the Mag do his stuff. They were unable to recover from that, but having that disabled, canceling that 2-man RP was absolutely huge. Not only did it save the Rubik, but also burned the RP regardless, only on the Naga Siren, who didn't die in the end. So that was value on value, and Darks, you're getting eclipsed on the bottom lane. My apologies for missing that one. But that was super value on that telekinesis, because it effectively changed the target of RP to 1 hero from 2, which would have definitely been the death of the Rubik if you didn't get that level 8 up. Let's Roche. Gonna circle around for Garb. I think this Rubik is just dead. Yeah, there's the Nova, there's the Beam, there's the Frostbite. Beam Fade Bolt into Let's Roche, and well, he actually might get a little bit farther away. No, just a little bit. Lunatic's gonna come back into this. He does have a level 2 Surge. He's gonna chase down Let's Roche, although with level 2 Frostbite, level 1 Frostbite, just cooling down, he'll be fine. So, FerretSquad finding a much needed kill on the bottom lane, finding actually 2 of them on the bottom lane. But still Skewer. And Skewer Shockwave into a Frost Blast. Now Chain Frost up on Violent Love. Means that this top lane has got to be very, very careful. And even though the kill advantage is going towards Lithium, fact of the matter stands. Oh, here we go. Violent Love going to open up with the... well, we actually got all of the illusion. How the hell did that happen? It's not going to save him. It might save him. Here comes 2 teleportations in. Stun going to fly onto 2-3-1. Levitate up into the air as well. Does not have a Skewer. He does have a Chain Frost to back him up. Skewer is going to be used right back on the Mag. Haste Rune being caught by Demon. They're going to chase down Violent Love. He does have a Chain Frost, but I don't think it'll do much damage right here. He does have Stick Charges as well. He won't get them off. Fade Bolt from huge range. What the hell was that range? But Demon coming in. And once again, this top lane from FerretSquad overextending just a little bit too much. That was the luckiest or skillfulest Skewer unluckiest Skewer, skillfulest mirror image I've ever seen. He got all 3 of the images, not the real Siren. I've actually never seen that done before. That's pretty interesting, but at the end of the day, it is still 2 kills on this top lane. So Lithium, they are maintaining the kill advantage, though they aren't getting farm on their primary carry hero, which is the Alchemist. He has 25 CS, but that's versus the 63. Now Helm of the Dominator up on this Luna, who's had free reign in the bottom lane, has picked up 2 kills, 1 on the Rubik, 1 on the Darkseer, pretty much by herself, a little bit of help from the Crystal Maiden. But Luna, at the end of the day, is getting the farm, and Death Prophet is not using her ultimate to push towers. You can see this tower barely even touched. Bottom lane tower, that's mostly just creeps from the Darkseer Iron Shell push. Top tower, not touched at all. And if you're just using this ultimate to fight, it's great and everything, but you really want to have that lasting advantage from towers, from getting that map control. Ferret is actually going to take the first tower, like, before his Death Prophet lane opponent. Yeah, Ferret's going to just wreck this tower with Strafe and Frost, and Searing Arrows, rather, not Frost Arrows. That's a different hero. This tower taking quite a beating, and that's not even maxed out Searing Arrows. He didn't max this one out. It's another 10 damage he could have on this tower. Rotation's coming in. Garb's going to get in there with the Skewer into a lift. Is there a sentry? There's dust. Ferret's going to get dusted up. However, there's no follow-up. Demon being a little bit lax on something. He went to hit a creep or something. I don't know. No casting regardless, so. But yeah, Godlike still getting his farm on this bottom lane. Could go for a kill on the Lunatic. This guy, Luna, is doing a lot of damage. Another Lucent Beam, a lucky Eclipse Beam or two, and that's going to be it. But I think we have to keep our eyes on the top lane, where we found that 231 has appreciated his deaths quite a bit. Lich still holding on to that Chain Frost, and Clinks. He's going to go for an Orchid after Midas, after Soul Ring. So Midas Soul Ring is just to clear off the wave. There's the Skewer forward. Instantly into the Naga Siren Sleep. And here we go. Garb going to come in. Violent Love is going to panic, push that Chain Frost. There it is. Not hit onto anything at all. Riptide's going to demolish that Lich, lift up onto the mag. He does not have a Skewer. He does have an RP. Will use it. And here comes Godlike with the Eclipse. Will get 2 kills up on the top lane. Garb just barely manages to slip away there. RP being used only on 1, but hell, it got the kill, and it's once again the Alchemist dead. Death Prophet, in the meantime, killing off Crystal Maiden. Finding her in the middle of what? Why are you there? I think that's what Teal's ping was. It's a why are you there ping. But 231 getting another kill assist. Luna getting another 2 kills. Godlike's getting really stacked, and the tower in the mid lane is dropping slowly but surely. I think Ferret might have enough to assassinate this Death Prophet. There is a fortification, so they will be able to hold this mid lane tower. Meantime, top lane, double teleportation. They want this tower. They're going to get it as well. There's a stun being channeled. They will split it out, so it's only going to hit onto 1. There is a Skewer as well. Will Skewer and hit only the Alchemist. 231 now in a little bit of trouble. Does not have any way of restoring his health. He's going to try to make his way out of here. There's no Eclipse from the Luna. There's no real good target except for the Alchemist hit with the Lucent Beam. He will throw it out, and it looks like that will ensure 231 gets his way out of there. Mid lane does drop, and fortification does not get used, but now Blink Dagger is up in the mag. Clinks hasn't really had a huge impact on this game, though his CS is going to be skyrocketing with the Soul Ring, giving free death packs, as well as the Hand of Midas giving even more gold. He could go into a neutral camp, cap both of them like this. Like, this guy's dead as shit. Goodbye, you're eaten by Clinks. That's a horrible way to go. And if he had a Hand of Midas up, the other guy would have been dead as well. But top lane being pushed now. Death Prophet does not have her ultimate. However, there are 4 heroes here. Fortification being used. Let's rush onto the front lines. We'll get a Nova off. 231 does not have an RP, though he does have a Blink Dagger. Violent Love. He can get hit by an Alchemist stun. Catapult still doing work on this tower, but Luna is nowhere to be found. Doesn't have an Eclipse, so she's going to tend to the bottom lane. Lunatic is still here. Level 10 on this Darks here. He's not that tanky, however. He has 900 HP. Luna can easily burn through that if she gets a good Eclipse off. It's level 2 Eclipse now. And right now, 231 is just biding his time, waiting for a RP to cool down, and it's going to be happening in 1 second. So now Lithium, I don't know if they know the timer, but they best not clump up, because if they get hit by 2-man RP, that will be the death of them. They're going to fall back, at least for now. Ferret acting as pseudo bait, and it will be enough, I think, Lithium not going to take that bait. In the meantime, Godlike just farming on the bottom lane. Does have a Yasha, does have lifesteal. His gold per minute is skyrocketing. His net worth is topping the charts. Death Prophet is really nowhere close, and this is the problem. They have a 4-kill advantage, but that's not really translating into any sort of tangible gold advantage. The experience as well as gold advantage is in favor of the FerretSquad team. And FerretSquad looking for more blood. They have a Blink Skewer. They have a Blink RP. They're not going to be using it just yet. Demon gonna find Let's Roche, do a lot of damage. There's an Observer Ward drop. Let's Roche gonna get hit pretty hard. No, Crypt Swarm, never mind. But all 5 heroes on the Lithium side are on the mid lane, leaving, once again, Luna on the bottom lane. Free time to do whatever she wants. Sentry wards being dropped. Let's Roche. Really tempting fate right now. Anything to get these wards down, right? He's getting a lot of intel for his team. He will spot out that smoke, and that means the Ferret has got to be careful. Did they spot out the smoke? Were they watching? They should have been watching. Oh, smoke is going to be dispelled. Random invisible Lich. They think Clinks is there, but they're completely wrong. Oh, they think Clinks is down there. That means they don't know that Clinks is up here. Alchemist Oh, this is going to be so unfortunate. Alchemist is on the run. He will survive, at least for now. Here comes Violent Love. He will find a good Chain Frost opportunity, especially if they clump up. Once this stun happens, Chain Frost is going to do so much damage. Oh my god, 2-3-1, getting in on the party as well. There's a teleportation out, will not get out. It's going to be a double kill for Violent Love. That was just so unfortunate, but we're not done yet. Let's Roche, gonna get isolated out, and it's going to be a free kill for the Dire. But that's 2 for 1. Their 2 core heroes, Death Prophet and Alchemist, dying both. Oh, what? Tower? Oh, he doesn't want Merciful. Okay, he doesn't want to get the tower. He wants to join his team. But wow, that Chain Frost timing, that was kind of luck. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That was being in the right place at the right time. That was, it's not purely luck, however. I mean, there's a few things in Dota that is purely luck. That was lucky. Finding the Alchemist at that point, stunning himself right next to a Death Prophet. Yeah, that'll do it. That will definitely do it. Now that Luna does have her Eclipse available for use, Magnus does have an RP available to use as well. FerretSquad looking to make a kill happen onto what looks like this Rubik. Blink Skewer possibly will land it, although it's hard to land a Blink Skewer on a Rubik if he's fast with his fingers. They're instead going to go for the tower. They do have a Kling spotting everything out from behind. He might be able to like isolate the Naga Siren if he wants to, just pick him down shoot a couple arrows here and there, or kill off the Courier. Oh, this Courier is gonna survive. And, well, we have the Ferret getting dragged back into his team. There's a net, there's a stun. He's gonna take a huge beating. He's gonna go down as well. Random Sentry Wards. Oh, no, those weren't random Sentry Wards. They knew, I think. They probably knew. Now the Ferret's down, unable to contribute to his team, and the tower ultimately does get denied. So Lithium finding a break there, but still the advantage is climbing in favor of the FerretSquad just because they're getting so much farm, mainly by the hands of this Luna. She has been stacking up in Ancients. We have 3 stacks, I think, at least. Yeah, 3 stacks on the Ancients right there. She can clear that out pretty much any time she wants. And now she's on her way towards a BKB. Once that gets up, there's really nothing except for the Death Prophet ultimate, which will be able to stand up to her. But for now, we have a Roshan attempt. FerretSquad definitely know about this. Exorcism has been popped. If they get caught with a big RP, this could be the death of everyone. But there's the, wow, 3-man sleep, all nicely clumped up. Where's the wall? There's the wall. Eclipse is there. RP not even there. And FerretSquad get demolished. Hey, look, I get a prize for witnessing a multi-kill. FerretSquad get demolished. Clumping up just a little bit too much. Easy wall, easy silence, and then they just get demolished. Eclipse did come out there. Once BKB gets up on Luna, they will be able to avoid those situations, at least a little bit. But when you clump up that hard against a Naga Siren who knows you're coming, that's not going to end well for you. So Lithium, they're right back in this game now. The advantage that FerretSquad had is all but evaporating, and they're going to keep on going. Mid lane is not going to be pushed, though. Exorcism not up. Once again, they're not using the Death Prophet ultimate to actually get kills. They're using to get tower kills. So they're using it to fight, and at that point, you really could have any other mid hero with an ultimate like that does straight up damage. You get the ultimate from Death Prophet. You get Exorcism because you want to do damage to towers. There's, I would say, other heroes that you could be using to kill people just as easily, if not easier. Ferret looking for a kill onto Lunatic. There's a Death Pact, Dark Pact, whatever, Death Pact. And a couple Searing Arrows. Dark's here, though, with 18 frickin' armor. He's not going to feel a thing from all that physical damage of the Clinks, so. Aegis does go the way of Lithium. It is going to be on the Death Prophet. Not an incredibly useful hero to have Aegis on, because if she dies with her Exorcism on, then you lose all the Exorcism ghosts, and then you basically waste your ultimate. If you leave it off, then you don't really do any damage in the fight, and the enemies have no reason to focus you. So it's definitely far from optimal, but at the same time, their Alchemist doesn't have anything. He still doesn't have a single item. He has Phase Boots. He's 200 away from his Shadow Blade, which is all well and good. Oh, Violet Love in a little bit of trouble. There's Lift Forward, Fade Bolt, Shockwave, and a Silence. He does have a lot of stick charges, and he will slip away. Lich, running on rollerblades. Oh, Garb, is he going to go up here? Oh, he will. He's not going to see the... Oh, no, he won't. Okay. Stacking unsuccessful, but now Luna could easily clear this off. She's going to run straight into... No, she won't. Oh, no, they do know that Garb is here. Instantly Sentry gets dropped. Telekinesis onto the Ferret. Will drop him up to the high ground. He is not stuck, though, so it's fine. I think right now they just want to clear off this ancient stack. Secure the assets that they have been, you know, kind of stacking up thus far. with Ferret and Godlike both, this ancient stack is not long for life. That will give Godlike a BKB unless Ferret takes all the CS. They should probably just give it to Godlike because he really needs his BKB. There we go, BKB almost up, 25 more gold, there we go. BKB up on the Luna, and now FerretSquad could actually fight. If they fight on their own terms, I think it's pretty much just an auto win between Eclipse, Reverse Polarity, as well as Chain Frost. However, if they get initiated upon from the Naga Siren, then things are going to be vastly different. Looks like top lane tower is going to drop. Exorcism is still up. Let's Roche trying for the deny. Heroic attempt, but now he might be punished severely. There's the Cyclone, and, well, there's the Exorcism being popped. Let's Roche is going to get barbecued by these spirits. There you go. Vacuum back. Let's Roche a little bit too heroic there, and it is going to cost him. Exorcism has been popped. Lunatic on the front line. Does have a level 2 wall. Undefeated. Doesn't really have that much, though. Fortification has already been used, and it looks like, yeah, everyone from FerretSquad just going to sack that tower. This is the pushing power that I expected from the Lithium side a long time ago. I mean, you would expect they just pop off their Exorcism pretty much at every single time it's up, and then claim towers with it. They've gotten the entirety of the top lane now, so that's some value from the ultimate, but they could have had all the tier 2 towers a long time ago. And who knows, that would have been a much bigger item, a much earlier item for the Alchemist, or some other game-changing thing like the earlier Diffusal Blade on the Naga Siren. Who knew? Who knows? Could be anything. So far, the Ferret hasn't really been too successful in his roaming as Clinks. He does have the ability to assassinate heroes, but with the Ghost Scepter on Death Prophet as well as the Cyclone, with the Naga Siren, who's, you know, pretty damn stacked. She's level 11. She's tanky. I guess Alchemist and Rubik are the only real targets that he could go for. Rubik definitely is vulnerable to the Clinks, but Rubik has been the one who's been placing all the sentries with his team, so we're going to see another push on this middle lane, and this is FerretSquad's chance to take a fight on their own terms. They have all the tools that they really need to get a good fight, but no, it looks like the push from Lithium is going to be stopped. We're going to fall back just a little bit. Also, anyone in the chat, please speak English. This is an English stream, so yeah, there's that. Ferret going to go to the top lane. He's going to look for undefeated. Regen is really high on this Alchemist, and there is support kind of nearby. Going to sit in the acid a little bit just to see what's going on. Has the death pack damage, so he does have 150 per hit. If he goes right now, this could be the death of him. Oh, Ferret's going to spot the second one. Okay. He's going to be just fine, but FerretSquad, they're just playing this extremely patiently. The gold advantage that they had, though, going all to 0. Experience only about 800 in favor of them. So essentially this game, as far as gold and experience is concerned, is entirely even. However, how that experience and gold is distributed, that is really where it matters. Luna has most of the net worth on the FerretSquad side, and then tied up with the Clinks. Both of these heroes will do a high amount of damage in the late game, especially once Clinks gets his BKB, which I'm assuming he's going for. Yes, he's going for. So once the BKBs come up, the Death Prophet ultimate will still be doing damage because it is physical damage that the Death Prophet spirits do. But that's really the only thing that they have to worry about, because Alchemist still has a long way to go before he gets his any sort of damage output going. He has a Shadow Blade, which is great for initiation, but 25 minutes in, you need a little bit more on your primary farmer Alchemist. Those deaths, those aggressive acts in the top lane, played by 231 as well as the Lich. They've really just been shutting down the Alchemist from the get-go, and Alchemist at this point is just a stunner. He's just a big piece of bait, really. Ideally for Lithium, FerretSquad wastes everything that they have on that Alchemist, because he really can't contribute much except for being a tank. Hold on, guys. People speaking non-English in the stream. Exorcism being used this time to push a tower once again. This is what I was expecting, but here we go. This is a very defendable position, I think, from the FerretSquad. They don't have fortification. They might have a blink skewer, which won't be terrible. But Alchemist is invisible up on the high ground. He does not have anything. He's going to stun himself. And that's going to be it. That push going to successfully take a tower. Aegis has been claimed. Going to be up in just a little bit. And Lithium, they burned their Aegis. Yeah, Aegis went unused, but Necro Book now up on Death Prophet. This is the pushing that I was talking about from Death Prophet. This is ideally what Lithium was going to go for with the Pugna pickup. But, oh, here we go. Garb gonna open up onto the Klings. Gonna stun the Luna on the way down. There's the Song of the Siren. They're gonna have to pop it soon, or else the Alchemist is not gonna be able to throw it on anyone. There's the BKB, as well as the Eclipse. Ferret taking a lot of damage, but Godlike just standing his ground. Rubik's gonna drop in an instant. Let's Roche as well as Violent Love. There's the Chain Frost onto Lunatic, as well as Undefeated. Huge amounts of damage. RP still being held. It's actually, yeah, still being held, and Chain Frost still bouncing around onto those Necro units. Will do a lot of damage to their Violent Love when they explode, but Godlike finding another kill. And that's gonna be 2 down, I think. Darkseer down, yes, with the Rubik buyback as well. That was a very costly fight, but there we go. A 2-man RP, but there's no follow-up. He went way too far ahead of his team. They really can't capitalize on this unless they go for Demon. That will be a possibility. No, they're going to go for anyone they can find. 2-3-1 with bottling charges will live from that one hit. Demon does have a haster, and he's going to try to chase that one down, but bottling up is Magnus, and he should be fine to at least hide. He can hide. He can't really run. Let's Roche is going to say give me the unlucky one. He's cycloned up into the air, and I don't think this Crystal Maiden has what it takes to get out of here with the... Well, maybe the Crypt Storm misses. No, you can't really do that. That's not going to work. So, in the end, ultimates are used, BKBs are used. Lithium lose 2, which isn't terrible, but... Sorry, the name... Players... What? I don't know what's going on in my stream. Alright. Enough about that, though. The stream, I'm sure, is not too talkative, so it's not that much of an issue. Luna's going to continue to get bigger and bigger, and that Eclipse demolished the Rubik and did a whole lot of damage. The Wall of Illusions going to start to be Lithium's, or one of their biggest assets, just because not only does it do a lot of damage, it also absorbs damage from the likes of Eclipse. Also, Ferret desperately needs his BKB. He really, really needs it. And he's going to teleport out invisible. He will be safe to get out. Oh! Death Prophet almost getting that Cyclone off. Hitting it a little bit too quickly. Will double tap it and Cyclone herself. But BKB is now up on Clink. So once shit starts to go down, he'll just instantly pop off that BKB and then just auto attack whoever he get his hands on. It's probably going to be something like a Naga or an Alchemist, but because Death Prophet, of course, does have the Yules as well as the Ghost Scepter, Clinks doesn't really have any ways of getting through that. So they will have to be forced, the FerretSquad side, they'll be forced to tank up the ultimate from the Death Prophet. That's pretty much a given. With so much defensive item building from Demon, that's going to happen. It's unavoidable. However, Godlike still getting his farm up. He has 19, almost 2,000 gold. He's going to get even more gold as this game progresses, and a lot quicker than anyone else, really. 2-3-1. Careful, man. Careful, Mag. But Shiva's guard up on the Darkseer now. This Darkseer is actually pretty farmed as well. I mean, he's behind the Death Prophet, but again, FerretSquad, they have the scaling late game, whereas Lithium, they do not. You don't want to pick a fight here? Let's Roche. Gonna throw up a Nova. Ferret doesn't know if he's spotted just yet. Well, now he knows he's spotted. Walking right past a couple of Nagas. And as this game continues, we almost hit the 30-minute mark. Both teams, well, I mean, I guess the Death Prophet's next objective should be trying to take down this Tier 2 tower. RP and Eclipse should be ready by that point. Yes, they're both ready to be used right now. But the Luna Glaives, rather, as well as the Empower from the Mag, these creep waves aren't lasting very long, so Lithium really have to go all in on this. Roshan is up, however. They do have level 3 Acid. They do have the Riptide. Actually, yes, they do have the Riptide. And they know that Roshan's up as well. They're just going to try to put as much momentum as they can into all the lanes. Bottom lane will push towards the Radiant side. Top lane looks like that's pushing towards the Radiant side as well. Someone's going to have to deal with that shortly. With these Naga Siren Illusions, plus the Ion Shells on them, it's really effective split pushing, and my computer's not being charged. One sec, guys, I have to plug in my computer thing. Okay, it's being charged now. God damn it, I almost lost everything. That was bad. Alright, we have Ferret going on a little bit of a stroll. He's going to walk right past the Sentry Ward, though there's no one in the area, so ultimately it's not going to do that much. FerretSquad actually pretty aggressively pushing up this middle lane. Their Luna is stacked. He's going to buy out for a Eagle Song. So that's a lot of extra damage for him, but that means, of course, he has no buyback. And no buyback for the Luna against a Death Prophet. If he dies once, then that could very easily be Rax's. Ferret might get initiated upon. There's instant dewarding, and here we go. Roche is going to get lifted up into the air. There's the Eclipse from Godlike as well as the BKB. Though there's nothing's actually dying. Disconnection from the mag. Horrible situation for them. Though the Ferret's still alive. Oh, that's just... Exactly. That's the worst fucking possible time to disconnect. Well, they still have a blink RP. They're ready for it, but it's already the wall's dropped. Death Prophet very low, but in the back. Is that a searing arrow? Oh, that's a searing arrow. How much? Oh, she has to be. Oh, wait. This pause. This is gonna let Demon live. A random searing arrow from a dead Clinks. That will do it. I think. Let's see how fast Death Prophet is. Come on, Demon. I kind of want him to die just because the pause was... Oh, wait. It didn't land at all. But here we go. Godlike going to get stunned up now. He already uses BKB. He doesn't have buyback. He's going to go down. Violent Love also ended up. Is also going to go down. And 2-3-1, the disconnector, is unfortunately going to be the last one standing for the FerretSquad. That was just unfortunate on so many levels. They took the fight with everyone. I don't want to say it would have been enough to win them the fight, but it definitely would have been different because that was a 4v5 fight. They thought it was a 5v5. All of a sudden, they don't have their key teamfight player. It's really, really difficult to see that happen. Really rough to see that happen. And, you gotta feel for them. You gotta feel for them. I don't have any favoritism between these two teams. Like, I couldn't care less, really, who won. I just want to see good Dota, but my God, having your key teamfight hero drop before the fight is just horrible. It's the worst possible thing. Because an RP would have bailed them out, or at least not bailed them out, would have allowed the Clinks to survive for a little bit longer, probably would have allowed the Luna to survive for a little bit longer as well, and he would have acted as just a giant meat shield, just would have tanked hits from things that were flying, like walled replica illusions, stuff like that. But enough about that. Roshan now going to be easily claimed. What the hell was Alchemist doing? Roshan will be easily claimed by the Lithium side. And the FerretSquad side, they seem to know exactly what's going on. They're going to smoke up, but this Roshan's going to drop extremely quickly. Assault Cuirass has been completed by the Alchemist with level 3 on the Grieval's Greed, getting a lot of that extra money. And the Roshan will drop. They do still have RP. They do not have Eclipse. And there's a wall of replica up on the Darkseer. So if they take that fight, FerretSquad, they will most assuredly lose. Clinks still looking for people to assassinate, though he hasn't really found any openings at all. That's kind of unfortunate. Clinks at this point has been dead weight. I mean, yes, he does a lot of damage if you don't focus him at all, but he's been focused down pretty effectively. He's been kind of trying to scout, but the Sentry Ward coverage from the Lithium side has been impeccable, really. They denied Clinks any opportunity to get any sort of assassinations off at all. And then at that point, he's just a dead hero. He's the subpar team fight damage dealer. It's a kind of rough position to be in for the FerretSquad. They just need a good RP, though. A good RP, a good Eclipse, that could change everything. And Lithium might give them that chance. All the ultimates from both sides are up. Naga Siren now with the Radiance. This was a support Naga Siren, by the way. That's this hero right here. And she is mad stacked. Radiance as well as Diffusal Blade, 34 minutes into the game, is not bad at all, especially for a support. I mean, that's amazing for a support hero, really. So gold advantage, experience advantage that FerretSquad once had. They still have a little bit of experience advantage, but the momentum is definitely with Lithium. Their team fight between the Darkseer wall, almost level 3, as well as the Death Prophet ultimate, doing so much damage to the FerretSquad team, especially when they can't get their own team fight to come together. Like Eclipse BKB gets popped off, but then you're sitting in a wall, you're killing off the illusions, your Eclipse is constantly targeting those illusions, and then your ultimate is pretty much nullified completely by one spell. And then, of course, you have the Naga Siren illusions, as well as the Necronomicon illusions doing the exact same thing. Blink into an RP, gonna catch what looks like 3, skewering them all back into an Eclipse. That's actually only caught 2. Chainfrost has been thrown as well. Darkseer as well as Naga Siren, both dead. Chainfrost still bouncing its way through. Demon taking a good chunk of damage, though he does have the Aegis Garb. Gonna get his way out of there, and it looks like that should be it. No, they're not done yet. Undefeated, gonna get caught out. He will stun up Violent Love, but wait, Demon still in the back end, will kill off that mag, and Lunatic is back for another vacuum. There's BKB being popped off by the Luna as well as by the Ferret. They're going to go straight for the Lunatic. They should be able to take him down. No, he's tanky enough with the mech to survive. Reckless from Demon. It is going to launch another swarm. Will kill out the Lich. who's standing right behind him, unfortunately. Let's Roche now in a lot of trouble. There's silence on Demon instantly into the Ghost Scepter. Lucent Beam will do a little bit of extra damage, as will that Frostbite, but another Crypt Swarm. That's triple kill for Demon. He will lose his Aegis. No, he'll Cyclone himself up, and Ferret can get lifted up. This is going to be the death of the Ferret. It's an ultra kill for Demon. This Death Prophet standing on the fringes of the fight for the entirety of that fight. And all of a sudden, Lithium are in prime condition to take, or at least pressure, the high ground. They don't have the Exorcism, unfortunately for them, so they can't just demolish a tower. They will have to deal with a very, very far in Luna as well. But FerretSquad, even with the 2-man RP, the Chain Frost really didn't do anything. Lunatic's buyback, so much value in that. Buyback now from the Clinks. Mag does have a Blink Skewer. If he catch Garb, that would be a free kill, and there's the BKB skewering, thinking about it, not going to find it. He's zoning them out, definitely. He's going to pull them right back into the Crystal Maiden teleportation area. That's not really going to be too much of help at all. Demon now going to get silenced up, does have the Ghost Scepter, does have the Aegis as well. But wow, the Naga Siren will get shredded. We'll try to pop the ultimate, and the Glaze are still in the air. That will do nothing. Ultimate being wasted by the Naga Siren, and that is going to what looks like be it. Demon, though, still on the run. Aegis is pretty fresh, so she probably would survive the Death Prophet. But they pick off the Naga Siren for free. They force everyone else back out of their base. They're still going for this, man. There we go. They're going to turn around now. Forcing out a buyback from the Ferret. It's not too horrible because they don't lose much. They don't lose their tower. They don't lose their Raxes. But this game is actually pretty damn close. Luna now with the Butterfly, though, is going to be very, very difficult to kill, though. She also has 24 armor, so Exorcism Spirit's not going to be doing too much. Though Alchemist at this point is starting to get a little bit more scary. I mean, the Death Prophet has done her job. She's held down this part. Oh, you don't want to be there. Does she have a Blink Dagger? Oh, what you doing, Demon? Well, there it goes. There's a stun being thrown onto Violent Love. There is an RP available. There's the wall as well as a vacuum. Beautiful combination there. Lunatic does, in fact, die, and Luna is the only one left standing. Although, no, he still has the Ferret to support him. Undefeated, going to try to go to town onto the Luna, but the Spear is doing so much damage. It's going to be the Ferret getting purged up. He'll be forced to walk into the wall. That will kill him off. It's a triple kill for Demon. Again, getting a huge kill streak. This Death Prophet doing absolute work. With the Ghost Scepter. With the Yule Scepter, you cannot kill this man. And there is no buyback on the Clinks. There is no buyback on the Luna for another minute. The Exorcism is going to time out, but still, there's more than enough pressure to at least take a tier 3 tower. They dropped the Darkseer, they dropped the Rubik, but Eclipse essentially doing nothing versus that wall. And then, of course, when you have an illusion of the stacked Luna, that's terrifying in of itself. Crystal Maiden's the only one that's up because of her low level, but she's definitely not enough to hold this tower. She's maybe enough to stall it for the Mag to come up, then maybe they'll be able to mount a defense. Like, there's the Frost Nova drawing the creep aggro. Tower's taking quite a beating. They have to worry about the mid lane too, where we have OMFG going for that tower. Silence on the Violent Love. Frostbite onto Undefeated. Mag is up. Another 20 seconds are needed before the Luna and Clinks get up. Mid tower is going to drop. Top lane is going to be defended. So, FerretSquad hold on to all their Raxes. It got a little rough there, but they're going to recover a little bit. They're going to stabilize a little bit. They really just need a better RP. They need to kill off this Death Prophet immediately. Usually Death Prophets are the first ones to die in the fight just because it's such a soft hero. When you have Yule's Scepter, when you have a level 3 Necro Book to give you that extra strength, as well as the Ghost Scepter, there's really nothing that could touch her. She's not being punished by the magic damage of the FerretSquad just because of the Wall of Replica. The way that the magic damage works from the FerretSquad is that it will hit one target, and I mean it's Eclipse and Chain Frost, which is they essentially act the same. They will just like randomly hit things, and if there's more random things to hit, like the Naga Siren illusions, like the Wall of Replica illusions, then their ultimates don't really do much, and that's all the magic damage that the FerretSquad has. Any other source of magic damage is not enough. There we go. Hex on the Violent Love and the 2-man silence as well. Let's Roche getting dropped very, very low. There's a Cyclone. We do have Clinks teleporting in. That's going to force everyone back. Is the Aegis still up? The Aegis is down, but there is a gem now up on the Death Prophet. Lithium, they're looking at this bottom lane with hungry eyes, and they're probably going to get it as well. Alchemist still farming up a little bit more. He's going straight for a tanking build. Let's Roche. Oh, got to be careful. If he gets flipped up in there, he's going to die. Lucent Beam onto the Rubik. And Necro units already been summoned, actually. But with the tanky Naga Siren illusions, well, actually not that tanky. Luna does a lot of damage, guys. This just in. Undefeated will complete his heart in just 100 gold. And we have a call. Let's Roche wants to go around and try to wrap around them. Are they going to smoke up for this one? It looks like they will smoke up for this one. And there's no ward coverage here, so they know that they're secure in doing this. They're going to go for possibly Lunatic, who does have buyback in 15 seconds. Not a big deal. But unknowingst to them, the entirety of the Lithium side is right behind this Darkseer. Are they going to get initiation on it? There's the Frostbite. There's the Lucent Beam. They're going to go for Garb and Lunatic both. There's the Frostbite. The Shiva's Guard going to pop off, and here we go. Naga Siren ultimate. Going to catch 4 in a line. I think this is going to be evacuation ultimate. It will. Puppy, please. More water time. Oh, right. We do have a pause count, don't we? Yeah, well, I mean, I guess there is technically a rule for pause counts, but I also guess that Lithium could waive that if they choose to. They could, like, pause for the enemy. That would be the ultimate in good manner. Death Prophet resumes the game, and the tower, the gank attempt ultimately does fail thanks to the Naga Siren ultimate. She's level 16, so the ultimate will be up to do that exact same thing again. And really, the FerretSquad, the only disabled they have, the only surefire disabled they have is Frostbite. They don't have anything except for the Orchid to get the Naga Siren silence, so that would work every single time. Fortunately for the FerretSquad, they didn't use anything for that gank, they just used smoke, which isn't that big of a deal. Now they're going to go on the aggressive, though. They feel powerful. There is a Satanic recipe up on the Luna. She does have buyback now. I probably think she's probably not going to buy out for the Satanic. Though the heart is up, Cyclone up on the Luna. Not going to be followed up with anything except for more harassment. Those Crypt Storms, though, they're coming out, and they're coming out a lot. And it's starting to stack up. I think a pipe would have helped them a lot this game. The tower being pressured, but the creep wave being annihilated at the same time. FerretSquad struggling to find any sort of, access point to the enemy base, or at least finding a single hero to kill. They could try to go for this Naga now that she's in the front lines. You could silence her and try to take her out, but they know that the entire team is right behind her. They also know that the mag is a little bit too far away. Haste Rune, oh no, not another Haste Rune going to Demon. He's already moving pretty damn quick with Yule Scepter, Phase Boots, as well as the Witchcraft movement speed. But Roshan, this is Roshan number 3. And FerretSquad, they're way too far away to do anything about this. The Alchemist at this point is starting to become a dangerous hero. And it's going to be Alchemist picking up the Aegis, Demon picking up the Cheese. Oh god, I don't know if FerretSquad could actually do this anymore. They need to take a Miracle RP into a Miracle Chain Frost, but that's just not going to happen. Because Lithium aren't letting that happen, and they're playing spread out, they're playing, they're playing correctly for the heroes that FerretSquad have right now. Ferret just needs to get in the back and assassinate someone, but that's not going to happen. Look at this positioning from Lithium, by the way. I mean, there's a 2-man RP here, 2-man RP here, but that's about it. Silence onto Let's Roche. Lucent Beam's going to fly. It's a matter of time before they pop the Exorcism and YOLO this tower push, this Rax push. Just pop the ultimate, walk up. That's probably what's going to get Death Prophet killed. That's why I'm not a good Death Prophet. And that's why Demon is probably much better at Death Prophet than I am. But with the Glaze countering this push, it will be able to hold for a little bit. It's a matter of time before someone gets hexed, though. Or a Blink RP. Or a Blink Skewer, rather. It's probably more viable than Blink RP. Right, bottom lane is being pushed. Tier 2 tower going to take a little bit of damage, but not too much. I mean, there's 5 ranged creeps, but that's really not enough to take down a tower. Luna is actually going to buy out. Oh, she's going to go for Satanic. I mean, there's not that much stun on the Lithium side, but oh, here we go. Alchemist going to breach the base. He's going to throw. He's actually going to be spotted completely. This is going to be the perfect opportunity for FerretSquad to get in on this. Undefeated is not going to get any damage, though. There's the RP onto 2. He's going to secure them back. There's the Naga Siren ultimate, but everyone's already BK beat up. The ultimate is not actually going to do that much. Godlike holding his ground versus Undefeated, but he's so tanky at this point. Demon is in the middle of everything as well. Already the Clinks is going to go down. Demon gets a beyond Godlike streak. Chain Frost bouncing through. The Luna is going to drop as well. Chain Frost still bouncing. It's not doing enough. The Alchemist is still alive. Rubik's the only one to drop. It's another triple kill for Demon, and the GG gets called. Ladies and gentlemen, 45 minutes in, and we are officially tied up in the semifinal game. What a game. Alchemist being focused, and at this point he's tanky enough to take it all. So thanks for watching, guys. We're going to be moving on to the third and final game of FerretSquad versus Lithium. Hopefully it'll be a bloodbath like the third one, because I like the high action, short and sweet games, but hell, if it's like this, I won't complain either. Thanks for watching, guys. GG.